Okay, so as we talked about, if we sort of draw a line through the golf ball, through your hands and your head there, that's your sort of set-up position there. So before, you were moving off that green line, very much swaying off the golf ball, making, yes, a full shoulder turn, but in the actual act of doing that, to create that full shoulder turn, you had to sway. And I would say now, in some ways, you probably couldn't really see the golf ball, certainly out your right eye, because your nose was sort of coming across, you blocked your face. So your vision of the golf ball now is going to be sort of distorted to some extent. Then you've got to try and refine that golf ball coming back. And as we saw, if you don't come back to that green line, more often than not, we're going to top the golf ball. We've started off with the club next to the ball, where it wants to come back to. If we move this way to the right, the club comes back with us, kind of thing. So what we're going to try to do is this sensation, if I go back to your old position there, we want to sort of may feel a slightly shorter backswing, okay? That to me is fine. Yeah, exactly. You're moving a little bit, but at least for this part, you're on top of the golf ball there now. So as you go back a little bit further, as you rotate, that's fine. So at least now we can see back on that green line, you see. So as you come back down now you try to move to the left. As you come back, you're striking the golf ball with a downward strike. Look at those two positions there with your head. One's behind the green line on this side, thus topping it.
Big difference, isn't it?
Because if your head is leaning this way, okay, so you're leaning back, your angle of attack would be that way, okay. If we're now on top of the golf ball, like so, your angle of attack, okay, is that way, okay. Think like if on an anchor, if you have an anchor straight up, the bottom bit sort of rocks this way. If you lean it backwards, it's going to be more rising up. If you lean it downwards, it's going to be coming down.
And the ball's going to go to the right angle.
Where it's going to, exactly, it's going to be pulling. You either top it straight somewhere, or you might catch it right at the toe end of the club and scuttles into the trees there, or you'll be pulling the ball left with that sort of hooky one that you get there, okay? So if we can get yourself on top of the golf ball, so you're good strike there now. Now we can twist through. We can get the weight onto that left foot, that right foot now, up on its toe there. Weight now all the way down through onto that left side. Whereas this one here now, you're trying to almost get through the last minute. You kind of got there, but it was a split second too late. And again, you think you've got your head past the green line here. That's kind of where your head would need to be at impact here at 4.6, but at impact at 4.43, it wasn't there. And it's and that's the difference. And when you have some good shots where you were doing this old thing where you were swaying, what you would have then done is move back to that green line sufficiently enough and in time to get the club back to the golf ball in a good shot. But then you hit one good shot, one top, one left, one good, one left, one good, one left, one top. The consistency level is going to be...
Probably why I was doing better with the driver, because the driver I was deliberately not going far, back
and
so
the ball
far.
being on a tee peg, in some ways, you actually want to be hitting the golf ball with a slightly upward strike.
Right.
Because if you come down on it and the ball's on a tee peg, your club will go underneath the tee peg and the ball goes up in the air.
Right.
So the driver, you often find this sort of, and this is why people have tendencies. You'll get people at all different levels. Even we're talking the tour standard, there are guys who drive the ball really well, but not so good with their irons. There are guys who putt really well, but their chipping's not so good. There are guys who have good iron play, but their putting's, or whatever it may be. We've all got our own skill sets that depend around or focus around a certain area of the golf game, okay? Because they're all different sort of techniques to a point. It's the same kind of swing, but different setups and different feels as we play them. So people who tend to swing quite shallow in the golf ball and play off their back foot often drive the ball well. People who come down a little bit steeper, more on the left side, tend to be good iron players, but then hit massive slices with their driver. You tend not to slice your drive. Your ball tends to go a bit ending to the left, and you're more back foot, hitting like a back foot hook shot in cricket. Yep. There's someone coming on the left side, getting steeper. Hit the irons okay, but they often slice their driver. So, and it's all relative to the golfer.
Well, my chipping hasn't been bad, but of course I don't have the room much for chipping, do
exactly.
I? So that's
probably and again, you set up to the golf ball and you just stay there. If you think of a chip shot, if you were making a chip swing here now,
it's a short. Yes,
if that's your setup, you would just swing the club to there.
Yeah,
your head wouldn't move. Even on this one, okay, you would swing it to there. You wouldn't be moving off the ball that much, okay. There's a little bit more movement there, but not as much as any problem. So you're backing through, just a small little shot. So yeah, so we can try and make sure we stay on top of the golf ball more. Right, if it means a shorter backswing, shorter doesn't equal bad. Okay, right. If it's a better backswing, I'd rather a shorter, better backswing than a longer, poor backswing. Ideally, I like a longer, better backswing. But if the case in point now, if we have to have a slightly shorter one to get yourself staying on top of the ball, then so be it. Right. Get a better contact, and it'll go further, rather than trying to get a big shoulder turn and get all the power back here, because there now you've turned further, but the energy given to the golf ball is less.
Yeah, because I'm not hitting it right.
Exactly, your contact's poor.
Right.
Okay, makes sense?
Yes.
Right, have a couple more then so we can
Brilliant.
practice that with the mirror there, sort of staying on top of it as well. It's quite a good one to see yourself what you're doing.